Hello and welcome to your nightly adult entertainment here at the Guardian Talk Radio. This will be episode number 61, and I am your humble host and hunter main, Armalite. Tonight's lead topic is Season of the Haunted too grindy? Question mark? So anyways, I do apologize about being so late. The kids they like to stay up a little bit later than usual. You know, I think what the show needs is a jingle. It needs it. It needs a fucking jingle. And I think that's what I'm gonna do this week. We'll figure out how to put one together. It could be the most scrappiest one I've ever had. But hey, it's the whole point. This is a talk show. This is talk radio, baby. That's what this is. So anyways, we'll just go ahead and swap over to the magic. And allow me to do something right quick. Make sure. Yes, sir. Okay. There we go. So, I hope everybody's doing well tonight. And everything is just bougie in your neck of the woods. Let me just get this out of here. So, one of the questions I decided that I wanted to ask was, is Season of the Haunted slightly too grindy? And I'm going to tell you this. I don't know. I don't know. We get told this every time. This shit's a marathon. It's not a sprint, a light jog. You know, it's a marathon. It's gonna take you a while. But we always find ourselves like when I get something stuck in my head that I really want, I'm gonna grind until my eyes pop out. Like it's just, and you know, my thumbs just fall off. But so who's really to blame here, right? Who's really to blame? Is it me? Yeah, most likely it's me. But there are some aspects about this whole grind where like it felt like it took so long just to be able to get the Callus mini tool, just to be able to get 5. Which I'm curious to see, why is it that Bungie decided to go with 5 this season, but the weapons last season, what was it, 2, 3, but now we need 5? And I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad grind. I mean, I've been staying busy, and I've been staying busy longer. But ooh, I tell you what, it sucked. I'll tell you that, it sucked. I was sitting here just grinding my ass off, and I'm pretty sure it's all, you know, my fault, right? It's all my fault. I'm the one that, you know, pushes myself, not treating it the way that it's supposed to be treated. You know, I got 3 months, I gotta be able to do these things, but I try to get it done in a week, you know, or I had that kind of mentality that I need to get it done within a week. And it's like, nah, bro, no. So, I'll tell you a little bit, like, if you haven't delve into the new season, let me tell you something. The grind for just to get like one particular weapon. Right now, I got my callus mini tool. I got the blueprint. I crafted the sucker, and then I went out and grinded my ass to get it up to level 13 so that I could put the perks that I want on the weapon, so it synergizes with my build. Let's just say that part from crafting and then turning around and using that weapon to level it up, which for one I try to go to of course the Throne World's Thrall hallway, and that didn't work out too well because for some reason the kills were not being counted anymore. I don't know if that's a thing now or what, but it is. I don't know, but it's all right. So I went ahead and went to like Shirochi and then spent some time up there and just grinded the shit out of it until I think I put it up to 14 just in case, and hauled my ass over to the Enclave and got it set up the way I wanted it, and now it just levels up on its own and I don't even really have to think about it. I mean, that's amazing, to be honest. So, but I don't know, I'm kind of in between on if I really think, is it too grindy? I mean, asking like needing like 5 red border of that weapon. I don't know if it's, maybe it's not the weapon to find the red borders is the problem. What I think it is the grind to get the material that you need so that you can focus a certain weapon, and how much it takes in order to focus that one particular weapon. I mean, right now I think I get like 9 of the, I guess like the focusing umbral whatever that you get from doing the public event and while running the containment, and you get 9. I get 9 each run, but or it, you know, it could be because I didn't upgrade the right stuff, but really I didn't worry about, like, you know, I was more focusing on like, I'm going to sit here and grind, but I'm not going to sit here and try to like only focus on trying to get like this specific weapon at this specific once a week, you know, type of thing, or once a day I should say, not once a week. But it was a grind. But at the end of the grind, after I got my callus mini tool and after it was over, and it's like, you know, kind of looking back, I could have taken my time a little bit. I did push myself. I tend to do that when I really want something. I tend to push and I push and I push and I push, and here we are. I got a callus mini tool, and I got at least the enhanced upgrade for the what do you call it, for incandescent, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I tend to like, I may try a different build though because I've noticed that my build don't do so well in small contained areas. I tend to blow myself up pretty good, so that's a thing because I'm like using nuclear throwing knives that just go boom, and then it's just explosion, and I love it. All right, but that was kind of my thought on the situation, and actually I'm gonna go ahead while I'm thinking about it. And yes, I did I did switch to the old OG mic. My other one, I think this one kind of does it too, but I figured, you know what, I think I need to get a new one because that one tends to it tends to like distort if I get too loud. I think this one does it just a little bit, but it's okay. Let me see. I'm gonna go to my Discord, and if you're unaware, I have a Discord, and I spent an entire week using my recruiting skills to get people to come in for like LFG purposes. So I do have that. Now I'm actually gonna, I think this week I'm going to try to find a way to bring people in that want to talk about Destiny, or they want to share their opinions, or you know, and stuff like that. Kind of start bringing in people that are looking for a community to hang out in. And since mine is not all that big, I mean, right now we're only sitting at like 41 people, which is a lot more than what it was considering just a couple weeks ago, or even just last week. So hang on, let me no. You know what? I'm very particular. I do apologize. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to start this stage, and I'm actually going to swing it over to here so you kind of get an idea. This is actually like the show itself, right? That's basically what this is. I should put a question mark so it doesn't look like I'm making a statement. Season of the Haunt, too grindy. That's the idea. Just so most likely we won't get anybody. Sometimes I get lucky and one of the boys starts showing up or whatever. Oh, it's yo ankles. Or is that ankles? We actually got someone. Look at that. So anyways, if this is your first time here, you know, this is a radio talk show where I kind of pick a topic and then we kind of discuss it. And this is a way for regular individuals like yourself, that's not some big YouTuber, big streamer, or some, can voice their opinion. Negative, positive, it don't matter. It's whatever you want. And this is how I do call-ins, through doing it here in the Discord. So if somebody wants to have a conversation with me, or you know, express how they feel about the current state of Destiny, they're more than welcome to show up. So I'm going to, there's something else. Let's see. There was one thing I did wanted to point out, and where it was way up here. Holy crap. Okay, I was kind of like seeing like if there was anything that people were saying that was kind of synergizing the way I kind of felt. Like I said, I feel like the whole ordeal with how many of the red border weapons that you have to find, I don't know if it's really that is the issue. I think it's more like the materials, or it's just maybe we're just pushing ourselves too hard too quickly. But I mean, we are kind of like halfway into the season, so I mean, it is what it is. So here's a post that I found here on Reddit, and it kind of somewhat goes by what I was saying. Most people wanted like the Callus mini tool crafted, but the red border hunt is a ball ache. I'm still on 4 out of 5, but I think the season's crafting wasn't well thought out. Reasons being, I already have several roles I like on the gun, from farming chests, etc., leaving the craftable version as less desirable by the time I get there, for me at least. Then many of the upgrades at the helm this year don't make much sense. No armable energy in playlists. Double perks on weapons, by which time most will have crafted their god roll anyway. So yeah, all it seems a bit odd to me this season. Anyone else feel the same way? I don't, like I was saying, I don't think it's, for me, I don't think it's really the whole, if it's the amount of the red borders that you have to find or how hard it seems to. I think it's really, it focuses on the material that you have to collect. It just feels like it's almost bottlenecked a little bit, just a little bit, just because the I mean, let's say, okay, like right now I can get 9 from doing the containment, you know, like the public event on the Leviathan. Excuse me. Let's say if maybe if they had a harder version, you get like 15 or something stupid. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like there was more ways last season to be able to get that material, to be able to focus those certain particular weapons during the season of the Risen, versus now. It just feels like they're not being as generous. I'm not sure as to why. Maybe if they're trying to see if it's better this way, but I felt like last season worked out wonderful, you know, to be honest. But this is what one person was saying, and plus there's also, you know, people that are putting in their 2 cents as well. An entire row of updates on the seasonal vendor is almost useless. I have never not had maximum vestiges. Yeah, it's almost like last season. Like I was saying, it seemed like at first it felt like a little bit of grind, but as you progress through the season, it felt like it was starting to kind of, you know, being a little bit held back, you know. Maybe it's just because that's all I've been doing, to be honest. Like, I've just been basically living in the Leviathan and just grinding shit out there. I think I finally did upgrade to where I could receive those particular materials to be able to focus that particular weapon by doing like Crucible, Vanguard playlists, or Gambit. But that was just this past week, I believe. So I don't know. Let's see. This is honestly the biggest gripe for me. That entire vestige row is just no. They could have easily made it do stuff like increased chance of a deep sight mod from opulent chest, increased opulent key drop, increased chance of haunted weapons dropping from server and containment, decreased cost of focus. Like, yeah, they did that before, like where decrease the amount that you had to focus, or even increase more bound presence drop rate. The only reason I spend on that is when I am done with the other 2 rows fully and go for the seasonal triumph for maxing out vendor upgrades. I mean, it seemed to me, I mean, it kind of feels like that's kind of the idea right now. Let's see. This person says, I impulsively grabbed one of those first, thinking I want to make sure I can try to get bound presence so I get extra rewards in server. Definitely don't want to do containment and not be able to deposit at the end, and haven't gone back to that row since. I really, for me, like I'll just kind of do the 1 per week, and I always have that extra, the 3rd material. I think, I don't know how, I think I had 4 I was holding on to, but I believe if you have 4 and you go do the server, it just deposits everything like all at once. So I don't know. And I know there was something with that, like you could set it up where you can give you a bigger chance to be able to do all the other weapons. My problem is like I wanted a particular weapon like the Callus mini tool to go with my hunter build, and now I'm going to go for the Austringer, of course, you know, for PvP purposes. But right now it feels like that's going to be a grind and a half as well, because all I was ever getting is Beloved in the sidearm. Like, that's all I got. Hell, I got enough for 5. You know, they basically handed those to me. But it's the Austringer and the fucking Callus mini tool are the ones that are, I feel, this might be stretching it a little bit, but I feel like Bungie did that on purpose. Just a little bit, because they know that the Callus mini tool was going to be OP as hell, and the Austringer, obviously, especially for PvP. So I got a feeling like they kind of messed with the algorithm just a little bit, or the RNG, you know. They slipped a 20 to RNGs to make sure that, you know, we don't get those as often, but give us the Beloved, which the Beloved is a great sniper rifle for PvP. Hell, I think that one and Izanagi's Burden, I believe. No, yeah, Izanagi's, the other sniper rifle. I actually could use those 2, but I suck at sniping in Destiny. Put me in Call of Duty, boy, I quick scope like a motherfucker, but put me in Destiny, I act like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's so weird. It don't synergize with me as good. That's why I go bow and hand cannon, just because I'm weird that way. So, oh, let's see. There was, I think that was kind of like the main topic I kind of wanted to cover. Well, that was kind of the main thing that I wanted to take a look at. I believe there was something else as well. Let's see, what was this? Maybe more than 900 energy, lol. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at this one. That's incredibly stingy. 3 runs for 1 focused weapon is quite lame. I don't remember the past 3-4 seasons being that difficult to farm. Am I missing something? Is there a way to get more than 9 per run? Unless if you do, like, I don't know how many you'll get from, like, once you unlock that 1 perk at the at the crown. I don't know how many you get like after you complete Gambit or Crucible or the Vanguard playlist. I'm not sure. Now let's see. Probably, but it keeps, but it helps if you buy the 27 cost one when it is guaranteed deep sight resonance. When the focus is a bunch of the random ones. So I guess it's better to spend the 27 versus the other where it could be just any of the randoms. And just pray you get the right thing because of how much cheaper it is. It doesn't work very well if you're cursed to only get Callus mini tools with deep sight resonance like I am. So apparently this guy is like, that's all he's getting, but assuming he's trying to get an Austringer. But at the same time, I was letting a buddy of mine know I was playing with, either it was last night or the night before. I was letting him know and be like, yo, you know, the best way to probably do this, it's more expensive per run, but your chances of getting what it is that you want is to spend the 27, to be honest. Because if you just spend like, what is it, 7, I think? Yeah, it's like 7, but you can get one of the others at that one time. So I'm just thinking, unless if you're trying to get that specific one, like right now I'm trying to get the Austringer, so I'm going to focus on just that one instead of just popping the 7, and all I get is beloveds and sidearms the entire time. Like, I think I would rather, you know, get a bunch of, like, a couple Austringers, check the rolls, see if there's anything good for at least the moments. Hell, I might get one that's technically the god roll, but I don't have it craftable, that I could use for a little bit, just to kind of hold me over until I get one, you know, whenever I decide to start putting together a PvP build. That's what I would suggest. Just mindlessly grind out that public event, get the, you know, basically you have to run it 3 times to be able to get one weapon. So if you're down to, you know, strap up and do a line of G Fuel, you know, might as well do it. That's the way I see it. Let's see, it doesn't help that the containment gets really boring really quickly. I mean, it gets repetitive, you know, but what I found, this is kind of weird, I think I found more enjoyment going up there to like the royal pools or the garden, going to the pools in the garden, just back and forth and picking up keys. That's the weird part. I found more enjoyment doing that than I did just doing the containment over and over and over and over again, because I'm just like, especially if I'm trying to do up a build or something. But that's kind of, I'm wired weird, but that I actually found more enjoyment out of that versus trying to do the containment over and over again. Even though, I mean, you do have a chance of getting those weapons. I don't know, it just felt like a better return in my investment. And I'm just running around mindlessly shooting ads, you know? And every once in a while, what I would do, if you're trying to figure out a good method, there's a million methods on YouTube that you can look up, but the way I like to do it is basically just go in and like I'll pick one of the two, either start at the royal pool or go to the garden, right? And maybe I'll just go, okay, I'm just gonna run around, kill a bunch of shit, pick up chests, you know, do patrols, you know, kind of do the whole thing, just make a whole loop out of it, and kind of hit all the, and picking up the materials I'll find along the way. So after that, once I get a key, I'll check the key, see where I gotta go. If I stay in the pools, I stay in the pools, and I just stay there until I have to go to the garden. Now once I have to go to the garden, I will run over to the garden and just run around there the whole time until, you know, and when I get a key, and if I have to go back up to the pools, I go up to the pools. I just go back and forth, back and forth. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, you want to be there when there's a lot of stuff going on, and then once it kind of dies down, just switch over to go to the other one. I mean, sure, you could. That's mainly up to you, but I find it more enjoyable just kind of sticking to one place until I'm forced to kind of go to another area, to be honest. So, well, there's my long-winded rant for that. Let's see, this person says the last season was the same, the number was just lower. Psyops gave 2 to 3 energy per run, focusing armor took 4 energy, and weapons took 8 or 9 energy. That's 2 runs per weapon and 3 to 4 runs per armor piece. Containment gives 9 energy, armor takes 10 energy to focus, and 27 energy to for weapons. That's 2 runs per armor piece and 3 runs per weapon. So it's basically the exact same. I'm not sure how you feel it's more stingy or whatever, when mathematically it's the same activity to focus ratio. Is it though? Like, I don't know about all that. Like, maybe my memory is kind of like failing me just a little bit, but because I can remember, like, well, maybe it's Popsicle that might be the case. Not sure. Okay, let's see. It helped last season that you can earn Umbral energy through playlists also, if you got that upgrade. There's more guns this season, so that's probably makes it feel a little uneven. I think these are generally more desirable guns too. Personally, last season I didn't chase any of those roles. True. I mean, that does kind of make sense. Maybe it's just because we have a lot more stuff to grind for, so maybe the ratio is still the same technically when you, like, you know, you start breaking it down, but I don't know. Is that it? Is that? Oh, I guess that was the bottom. Let's see. Felt like the Psyops ejaculating drops on you, especially the legendary version, made it so I wasn't so dependent on buying the guns for deep side rolls. You know, to be honest, when I was doing at the beginning of this season, I actually went ahead and grabbed, I think I only needed like maybe one more for the grenade launcher, the wave grenade launcher, the solar one, through the Psyops, and because that was actually going to work on my build pretty good. Thinking I might revisit that weapon, but I was able to craft it, and I think I got it to where I can actually upgrade it as well. I mean, I used it quite a bit, to be honest. Let's see, it's because last season's currency dropped frequently in Crucible strikes, etc. Still to this day, I get loads of them for doing pretty much nothing. Well, there you have it. A whole ass conversation about that. Let's see. Where we at? We at 35 minutes. That ain't bad. Okay, let me check something right quick. Make sure everything's going sweet, going well. Alright, we're looking good. Let's see. A few weeks into the season now, so wanted to ask. Okay, so that's asking which one is your favorite PvE weapon. Exotic engrams should be focusable. Also prime engrams. I'm just doing my morning subreddit browsing and seeing the common refrain, dear God, exotic farming of lost sectors is killing my sanity. So what would help us deal with this long term as more and more exotics get added? A system we already have, engram focusing. The details can be figured out, but I'd imagine you could have slot focusing to pick type of weapon, kinetic, stasis, energy, heavy, or pick type of armor, helmet, arms, chest, legs. But maybe we could also have specific armor exotic focusing. Maybe it would be on rotation, so it would rotate between the different slots weekly. Exotics would need to drop to inventory instead of auto decoding, but that seems manageable. Hell, you could even kill the rotating armor slots for lost sectors to let you choose what slot it drops in with focusing. On prime engrams, these things are useless past powerful cap. Maybe they can be focused to a slot to drop at your power level to even out, or just make them umbrals or usable as umbrals, or maybe 3 of them can become an exotic engram. A lot of ways to improve them from being 4 legendary shards. Yeah, I've noticed that it's like after you hit that power cap, it's like prime engrams mean nothing to you anymore. Like, what's the point, to be honest? Okay, let's see. Holy shit. You know what? Gary, read this out for me, bub. Here we go. I'm gonna let Gary do this, and I'm going to take a drink. So give me a sec.
Season of the Haunted, from a PvP player perspective. Discussion. This was supposed to be the first season where we see the renewed focus in Crucible, and it's true Bungie did a lot of PvP related changes. But I feel like almost all of those changes were steps backward. Let's go down the list. New map. Nothing wrong with it, it was obviously made for Rift, and plays the best inside that game mode. I just hope we get to see more general purpose maps soon. Just slightly weird that after almost 3 years without a new map, they give us a super big one, which are typically not very well liked by the community. New Iron Banner. New vendor rework is great. But Rift IB, not so much. Rift was buggy, very buggy, but even ignoring this, I don't think Rift is a great fit for IB. IB is about replayability for a whole week and grinding weapons. They literally ask us to play every day to get the most reputation, but Rift is a slow game mode, even when you 5-0 a team. It's also not very engaging when all you need is a single team wipe to score a point. Not to mention it feels like 50% of a game of Rift is spent in loading screens. It just makes for a dreadful experience when you're meant to replay this for a week straight. All my friends were bored out of their minds and wouldn't play with me after day 2. New game modes for IB are a good idea, I just don't think Rift should be one of them. In-air accuracy changes were a complete disaster. The idea itself is good, but the execution missed the mark completely. They told us that just slightly building into this new stat would make in-air accuracy even better than before. But because of bugs and the lack of tools to build into the stat, you just end up with an experience that feels worse than before. A straight-up nerf to a beloved playstyle that they try to sold us as an improvement. In practice, this slows down the game and rewards passive plays with long-range guns. More mods to build into in-air accuracy will help next season, but I think the system is fundamentally broken as it is. The baseline to remove RNG from your shots is way too high. Sniper changes were once again a straight-up nerf, disguised as a buff. Snipers just feel worse now, for no reason. Nobody complained about snipers being too snappy. I already made a whole thread going into details about this, so I'll keep it at that. Flinch changes, resilience and stability now improving anti-flinch, are nice, but shouldn't apply to special weapons. The one and only thing people complained about snipers was not being able to flinch them. And now Bungie just gave Sniper a way to completely ignore flinch. So now that snipers are no longer snappy and you're unflinchable, it rewards a very lame way of playing the archetype. Just laying at the back of the map. Don't think this is the direction you want a game to go. Talking about taking the game in the wrong direction. Solar 3.0. I actually like Solar 3.0 quite a bit, but restoration is broken in PvP, and I can't believe it shipped that way. And the fix is so simple. Disable classy restoration in PvP. I don't care that it's just a seasonal mod, having PvP unplayable for 4 months straight isn't a good idea, and make restoration cancel itself when damaged by a guardian. This keeps Solar 3.0 as it is in PvE, but makes it manageable in PvP. I say manageable, because even with those changes, all the healing inside of PvP will still be annoying. Bungie made Wormhusk, or Vicarious Visions, whatever, and it was very oblivious that everybody hated it, and it was a very bad direction for the game. And now Bungie just makes on-demand healing plus regen a core mechanic? I just don't know. Other weird sandbox changes, like the constant nerf to shotgun, is just weird and concerning. If they don't want shotgun to be consistent past 6M, fine. But why are fusion rifles a consistent kill at 25+ meters? Charge time is irrelevant when it's faster than most primary TTK, slugs are just better shotguns. More range, body shot damage is enough to clean up with a melee, and headshots are a joke to get. Grenade launchers are still super easy to use and can one-shot or do more than half a Guardian HP. I could keep going. My point is, why were shotguns considered too good? Because they could kill at a 6M range, but every other special weapons are fine when it does the same thing at way longer ranges and for less effort. Just seems like a very casual-centric change. Any PvP player figured out how to play against shotgun apes back in D1. This season is just concerning in terms of decision-making by Bungie. They don't seem to understand what PvP players want, and are going in the complete opposite direction. Maybe they're listening more to the casual feedback, trying to make them also enjoy PvP. But when it comes to balancing, catering to casuals is a very dangerous game to play. Removing skill gap is a one-way ticket to losing all your most dedicated players. At least, I know this season just made almost all my friends stop playing. Also, what happened to less ability spam and a renewed focus on gunplay? That didn't even last a whole season.
Well, there you go. That was actually on the Destiny the Game Reddit thread. Maximal GFX is your man or person, whoever that person is. Very, very disappointed about, not being very satisfied with the new map. New Iron Banner, in-air accuracy changes, sniper changes, flinch changes, Weird sandbox changes, Solar 3.0, basically the highlights. You know, just about anything and everything. Well, except it seems more like this is more from a PvP player perspective, obviously. So most of this person's criticism is from a PvP standpoint. There you go. Let's see. Okay, here you go. Bungie, each reset with the crown should increase the chances of red border drops of the Leviathan and haunted weapons. Let's see, I'm also at my second reset and I have some weapons I've never gotten a red border for at all. I have all the good perks unlocked for the crown already, so there isn't even anything to look forward to in the next slog through the ranks and unlocks. Maybe it's just because most of us we get into this weird place where we see weapons that we want, and then especially if you're a PvP player and you start getting like you want the Stringer, so but that's kind of like the only thing you're really focusing on, and maybe that's the idea, right? That you're trying to push yourself too much too quickly, you know. And of course, you know what, we're coming up on the 5th week so far, so, and we still have I think we still have like 50 days or something crazy. We still have over a month. I believe, if I remember correctly, we're also going to have summer solstice here pretty soon, so, but I believe that's next month, I believe. So yeah, I mean, we'll still have another 5 weeks. Most likely, I think usually each season, like with the story, they stretch it out about 10 weeks. So there's still like 5 other weeks, which we're gonna get through the next 2 weeks with, I'm sure it's like the copy and paste thing that they got going on with the storyline. You know, we went through Crow, and then we went through Zavala, and then the next one, I almost thought it might have been Saladin will be the next one, but I'm not sure. Like, listening to the dialogue, I'm pretty sure, no, it's gonna be what is it, Callie or whatever, no, Callus's daughter. That's going to be the next one, so that's going to be probably the 2 weeks, same thing. The fail the first time, and the second time works out just fine. Maybe there's a slight twist, but then what happens after that? Where does the story go after that? That should be interesting. So most likely I'm going to end up making this another short video. Just kind of looking through everything. I've seen this one. Once you unlock the pattern for an opulent weapon, it should stop dropping from the opulent chest. Let's see, I've unlocked the weapon pattern for Drang. Yes, I still can get Drang drop, and even Drang red border drops from the opulent chest. Once you unlock the pattern for a weapon, it should be removed from the opulent chest loot pool, so then at the chance that you get a red border, it's be something you don't have. It would still require a grind to unlock the patterns, but it will remove the annoyance of getting drain drops after you've already unlocked the best versions. Yeah, I mean, maybe, or for like, maybe not drop them all together, like make them stop dropping all together. Maybe another idea that you could do is if you dismantle that specific weapon, it gives you like one of the shards, or like you get so many shards out of it, or some kind of material to kind of go push towards your next focusing, to kind of help with that a little bit. I mean, that's just kind of my thought. Logic and some Bungie understands too well. Of course, you know, someone, you know, puts a comment, and then, you know, you got negative Nancy's or negative Nicks up in here. They just got to be like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. You know, I'm so fucking sick and tired of saying, like, I know there's never going to be a time that you're going to be able to get people to quit fucking doing it because it's the internet, but still, it's like, Jesus freaking Christ. I mean, come on. We're over, like, what astounds me is, you know, what it is that, I mean, I'm not even talking about like those who are higher up, the ones that make all the decisions, you know, the bosses. I don't even talk about that. I'm talking about the people that actually go in day to day, working their asses off, building a game that they love, which is Destiny. And people like this always want to shit down their throats all the fucking time because they're like, oh, well, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Let's see you do it. Like, just saying. Like, why don't we see you go out there and show us how it's done? Why don't you go build your own fucking game and show us how it's done? Instead of sitting here trying to be like, you know what's best. I've also seen some fucking videos on YouTube about that shit too. It's fucking annoying. Like, some people are just like, oh, well, I know how to fix a game, but I ain't going to tell you what it is. I ain't going to tell you because that's not my job. Unless if you going to give me some money, then I'll tell you how to fix your game. Well, shut the fuck up. Get your lying ass out of here. Alright, go back to do what you were doing. Go play Destiny. You know, get the fuck out of here. You ain't a part of the conversation. I'm gonna calm myself down. Just woosah, motherfuckers. Woosah. Okay. So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and I'm done with Reddit. I am done. Check out this, make sure we're okay. Everything looking alright. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, those are kind of my thoughts and opinions on the situation. And I mean, I'm still enjoying the season. I'm still trying to get my ass in the duality dungeon. I really want to do it. I want to get those weapons in there. And I mean, I got good with Grasp of Avarice dungeon. You know, after learning the mechanics, I think I can get good with this this next one and really get into like farming. But it's just be able to find the time and try to find people to play it with. I might actually hit up those that are actually in my Discord and be like, yo, does anybody want to like hook up and go do the duality dungeon? You know, I'm just kind of in it to learn it and, you know, try to have a good time. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. There's no point of keeping it up. Actually, I want to go over here, switch this over. I'm gonna end this. Good night to all of y'all. I'll give it a big smiley face. It was very enjoyable. Thank you. So tomorrow will be reset once again. The story continues. So I really look forward to doing that. Be getting off work, and that's the first thing I'm going to do. So, but, and just so you know, if you're new and you made it this far, you're the GOAT. Like, for real, you're the GOAT. I don't know how many of people actually make it this far, to be honest, but I do appreciate it. So, okay. So anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. But if you do me a favor and show that like and sub button a little bit of love, you know, give them a little gentle caressing with your fingertips, and I would greatly appreciate that. Mostly I'm kind of focused more on like subs. Trying to get, I really like to see myself get up to about 100 subs, get a couple people into the stream, you know, really start getting things flowing, you know, people chatting, and we can be talking about any and all things Destiny. But until then, it's going to be, this is probably the worst grind of my life. Destiny couldn't touch this shit, I'll tell you that. You think Destiny is bad, try doing this shit. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and until I see you Guardians again, y'all stay classy.